Welcome back to another episode 74 of the Spittin Hoops podcast, your weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, sometimes every day podcast covering the NBA. If you guys can't tell, I kind of lost my voice over the last week or so. We'll get to the reason why later. I was also kind of sick, and then like combining with some other stuff, not good. So my voice is kind of shot. So Anthony is going to put the team on his back like Luka Doncic during today's podcast and carry us to the finish line. Anthony, how are we doing? How are we feeling?
Yes, sir, man. Doing well, doing well. Crazy game last night between the Celtics and Thunder, which I'm sure we'll talk about. Fun fact about the number 74, there has never been a jersey in NBA history with the number 74.
Wait, really?
So, yeah. There's 77 is Luca. Dennis Rodman wore 69 once as a joke. But yeah, no
So,
74. So that's that fun fact. But Max, I'm curious why, besides your sickness, do you not have a voice?
well, Anthony, not to snitch, not to dox you in your history, but you and I,
Docs.
we met as undergraduates at the American University. And American University, not known for having a very good basketball team. You know,
Nope.
going into last year, brought in Dwayne Simpkins, local legend, who's turned the program around. And on Sunday, I went to the Patriot League semifinals. Yesterday, Wednesday, I was at the Patriot League finals, both of which American University won to get their auto qualifier to the March Madness tournament. Their first since 2014, something like that. Maybe longer. 2012? I can't remember. It's been that long. Um,
Wow.
so it was honestly pretty electric. They have a section of the stadium called the Perch that is like on the baseline. It's literally like just like a little bar slash standing room area that's on one of the baselines. Um, and you can just stand there and you're just basically like standing on the baseline. Like you're literally like you can reach out and probably touch a player like when they're inbounding, right? It's like that close. And honestly, like you just stand there the whole game and it is electric. So very great, very fun experience. Me who kind of hates on college basketball, I can't lie, it was storming the court was like a pretty good experience. I'm not gonna lie. Top 3 to 5 sporting experience for me. Like nothing is gonna beat being in Paris for the World Cup, like when France won in 2018. Like I've already like kind of settled that that'll be like my greatest sporting experience ever. But this was honestly like pretty good. Like yeah.
Dude, that's sick. I remember the days of going to Bender Arena as a freshman, as a sophomore. We just pull up, get some free pizza.
Yes, dude, that's literally they don't have to give us free pizza to go anymore, bro.
Yeah, they got a
Kind of
quality
awesome.
product. Oh,
If
that's
you get a
wild, man.
chance if you get a chance to watch the highlights, like I'm so sorry. Now I'm like in the stuff, but like there is a minute to minute 16 like period in the second half, I think with like 11 minutes to go, where AU is up 12 and in college basketball with 11 minutes, like 12, that's not a secure lead.
Mhm.
Like those are long halves, right? Um, and AU goes down like runner layup or something, comes back down. Navy bricks a three. AU goes back down, 3 point, bang. Navy comes back down, gets strapped. AU comes back down, put back dunk. And like in three, basically in this like minute span, the game's over. Like and that during the putback dunk to cap that span, it was like the stadium was rocking. Like honestly, like genuinely having been to Bender Arena and seen one person in there just shooting a basketball by themselves, like that was like not an abnormal sight to like seeing it
Yeah, uh-huh.
literally sold out last night. So sick. So
It's
shout out
incredible.
college basketball. Um, shout out our friend Noah Haynes, who is a huge basketball fan, obviously.
Oh yeah, huge
He
college
was
basketball
on
fan.
for the Sixers preview, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I forgot. The biggest college basketball fan. Gotta give him some credit. Like college basketball is kind of dope. I've always been a little bit of a hater, but it really gave me some like European soccer vibes, like just passion for your local team. Like, you
Yeah,
know, I gotta love
yeah.
that.
There's something about it, man. There's something about that locality. Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool.
It was
Well,
on.
so
It was
yeah,
honestly unbelievable. I've seen NBA chips. Like obviously, like there's been like very cool moments that I've got to see. Like as a Warriors fan, I was at Game 6, Rockets Warriors, right?
yeah.
Uh, but like there was something very personal about this. That was very awesome. Like, I don't know. So yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, we get to rep it, man. It's the first time and like our college has done something that's we don't have a football team, so this is it for us, you know? This is other sports people don't pay as much attention. So this is so cool.
yeah, and
Let's go.
I think it also goes like I can get on my high horse about this too, but it also goes to show that like DC has an appetite for basketball. Like people consider Washington DC to be like a like commander's town or whatever. Um, and I know the Wizards have been bad, but there's totally an appetite for like good basketball in Washington DC of all areas of the country. I know New York is known for basketball. I know North Carolina is known for basketball, you know, but like DC is also locally very well known for basketball. I mean, a lot of hoopers come from the DMV, right? Um, so I don't know. It would be nice to see some inspiration come from that, like the Wizards. Like, I don't know. Like literally, I the AU game tickets were more expensive than any Wizards ticket that wasn't
Wow.
Warriors or Lakers, pretty much.
That's insane.
Yeah. Like resale, it was sold out within 24 hours. Resale tickets won for $140
That's incredible.
for Bender Arena. Sick. Anyways, that's
Bender Arena.
love basketball. Gotta
Flash
love it.
that student ID, man.
Dude, I lost mine. No, you know what's hilarious? The last student ID I had, Anthony, was yours, bro. You gave me yours after you graduated.
No way. Oh, for the free
Yeah.
meals or
It will, I
just to
think you
have
gave it
it?
to me for the free meals, but then you graduated and the free meals expired, but then I lost mine and I never got mine renewed. So I would just use it to like get around campus. It was so
Let's
bad.
go.
So
That's fantastic.
it was
Man,
COVID. So it's not like I was going on campus very often, but like, yeah.
I'll come down soon and we'll go, I don't know, go to Bender or something. That's sick, man.
Live pod
That's
from
so sick.
Bender.
Yo. Yeah, we'll invite the players on, ask them how they're doing.
Oh my God, honestly, that'd be electric. They're not coming on, but that would be fun.
Coming off their sixth straight win to win the Natty.
No, I'm telling you, Matt Rogers, this guy on AU is crispy. Like he's kind of twisted. He's the guy who had he had a putback dunk and then he had a step back three to like ice it, put him up 22 with like 2 minutes
That's
left. It was
sick.
like crispy. I was like, damn.
That's so sick. Do you have any idea what seed will be?
Probably 16. They'll either be the first four in the first four and then play against like a one seed, or they'll get like seeded as like another 16 or 15 team. But it's probably looking like they'll be in the first four to go to Dayton in Dayton, and then first four, then they'll play a good team.
Does first four always play a 16? I thought first four sometimes played like they were
It depends.
15 or 14. Yeah.
It depends, but it's looking like first four is generally going to be a lot of these like auto qualifiers from like the MAC or whatever the
Yeah.
M or the MEAC conference, Mid Eastern
Yeah.
Atlantic Conference. I don't know if you heard
Let's
that, but
go.
yeah, it's gonna be like crusty teams like that. But I like the first four because it does give you a chance to win a March Madness game with like a bunch of eyeballs on you, which is
That's
like
true.
in theory not like if we're not walking into Raleigh like in the we're not walking to Raleigh and beating Duke, you know, because that's like the other route. Like if we don't get a first four game, we're probably gonna play like a huge program closer to where they are, so we're gonna have no fans too. It's not like we're playing in DC.
Hmm.
And even if it was
Yeah.
Duke versus AU in DC, like that's gonna be a Duke crowd, you know.
Yeah. Too close.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
Anyways, that's
Let's
my
go.
college basketball tangent. We're usually an NBA podcast, but that's a little bit of college basketball for you at the top.
Oh, fair enough, man. We respect it.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Pretty dope stuff. Honestly, very fun. With that, I guess we can move into our first section of the podcast. Anthony, do you want to take us away?
Yeah. So we have about 20 games left for most teams to close out the regular season. So with the stretch run, we like to assume that we can kind of establish who we believe that our contenders are. If we have time, maybe we can talk about some other teams, but feels like there are five contenders that at least Max and I feel as though are able to establish themselves as true. And then there are a bunch of other teams that are behind that we could talk about. But essentially, what we're going to talk about today is a little bit of the historical lens, like we took last week, and say what would a ring mean for each contender in terms of their team and in terms of the players on their team? Where does that go? Where does that elevate them to? So Yeah, let's get it going.
Yeah. Let's start. I think on our street that we have here, we have OKC first, but I do want to start with Boston first. I think
Sure.
Boston is very fascinating because I think it can go different ways. Or like if Jaylen Brown got another Finals MVP, he might vault Tatum in an all-star in an all-time ranking, even though Tatum is the better player. Like I'm not saying he should, but like let's say Jaylen Brown just has an out-of-body experience in the NBA Finals, like if stuff like that keeps happening, like history's going to shine really well on him. That said, if Tatum has like a 40 point per game finals performance, he vaults into like a top. He personally starts vaulting, like just vaulting all time ranks, frankly. Even without MVPs or whatever, if you're the best player on a clear best player on one championship team and might have been the best player on another championship team, arguably was like that. Those two things together is it's a lot better than what a lot like. Would you rather have Jason Tatum's career if he wins Finals MVP with a really good performance this year, like, and then retires? Like, let's just say that was the case. It's
Mm.
obviously not going to happen. But like, if he had an amazing Finals performance and then retired, compare that to Russell Westbrook.
Mm.
You'd probably want a Tatum career. You'd probably want a Tatum career. So like, he probably vaults in like top 45. Um,
Yeah, top 40, maybe.
Yeah, at least, yeah, I was just saying top 45 for example, but like, if then you wanted to tell me he's better than good example. Nash is a bad example because that's kind of
Ooh,
tough.
that
It's
is
kind of
tough.
yeah, that's kind of tough, but like
I mean, he's better
yeah,
than
that
Melo.
oh yeah,
He's better than Dominique Wilkins.
yeah.
He's probably
I
better than
think
Clyde Drexler.
yeah, I think Russ was the first one because he's ahead of all those guys for me, I think.
I'm thinking of small forwards.
Small forwards. Oh yeah, I mean I think he's better than Drexler. I mean,
George Gervin. Is he better than George Gervin? Yeah, with the
let's
Finals
look at my
MVP.
let's look at my tier list from last week.
Let's look at your tiers list. While you pull that up,
Pierce or Tatum? Probably Tatum. Finals
oh, fine.
appearance, finals MVP, and then
And
finals
and
win.
and here's the thing too: is Warriors, Miami Heat, Lakers, Bulls, Rockets, Lakers, uh, Pistons, Lakers, and then Celtics way back when. Those are the only teams that have repeated, right? So it's hard to repeat in this league. You get one, it's like okay, you won one. You get two in 3 years. It's kind of like the Spurs, right? I mean, that's a tougher example because they won five, but this is impressive territory. So I mean, as the Celtics organization, it pushes us further ahead. Us being a Celtics fan ahead of the Lakers, and I think the manner in which it had to have been done, knock on wood for no injuries, but a lot harder path in the East this year. First round is not going to be, first round might be easy, but the second round is against the Knicks at the moment. Then the finals will be against the Cavs, if so, which is going to be a 60 something win team. And then you either have to play the Thunder, who are going to have 60 something wins, or a team that beat the Thunder. So
Whatever team that comes out the West is like gonna be a really good team,
the
by that point.
cakewalk chatter can't really be that same thing. And then people are going to
I,
feel very uncomfortable. What do you do with that aura? Like there's that aura conversation too. Like, okay, we have no aura and we won 2 rings in a row.
I don't even
Fine.
care. Yeah, I mean, dude, I hope that doesn't become the discussion because this is definitely not cakewalk. I mean, last year I think you can argue that the East was like a little injured and whatever, but
Yeah.
like I don't really care. They still did it. And also
Yeah.
not getting injured is like half the battle. Like if
Sure.
you got to show up to the games. Like Paul
Yeah.
George is like four hypothetical championships.
Yeah. Legit.
But like let's say Jaylen Brown won a finals MVP.
Mm,
Does he move up into like does he go for example, like Jimmy Butler or Jaylen Brown all time?
I mean, he'd be the worst player to ever win 2 finals MVPs.
But the way the Celtics play, it feels kind of on the cards, right? Like, or not on the cards, but it feels like possible, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's totally
That's
possible.
the only reason I'm bringing it up.
Yeah. I mean, it was a very Kawhi Leonard 2014, Andre Iguodala 2015 finals MVP in a way,
Which could happen again.
which could happen again. It
I
could.
mean, they're just so good that like if Tatum just scores 22 a game and kind of fills in the rest while Jalen's scoring 28 a game, it might just happen that Jalen wins it again. It's possible.
The only thing is Jalen would have to be obviously better. And I think it was so close, even though the vote was, I think was 7-4 for Jalen Brown versus Tatum for Finals MVP last year.
Yeah,
Like if it's this, they'll probably give it to Tatum because of that
100%.
like
And that's
split.
why I'm like that would mean Brown would have to have a pretty amazing finals performance. So like if
Yeah.
he won the finals MVP, like T Mac or Jalen Brown. Like I'm starting to talk like that, low
Like
key. And I know Jalen
historical,
Brown
yeah.
is young, and I know Jalen Brown
Yeah.
is young, but this is like he's contributions to winning cannot, especially if he does something like that, like can't be denied, right?
No. No, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's top 60, top 70.
Yeah. Like I would struggle to put him ahead of like a Dumars, right? Because Dumars won a Finals
Yeah.
MVP, and
But he
just the
won
body of
two.
work. But if it just body of work, like
Yeah.
if Jalen Brown would eventually for me pass Dumars, but like in
Oh,
theory,
at the
like
moment.
if he had won the Finals MVP and then just retired, like it's a pretty short career, you know,
Yeah.
like. So I would still need to see like the rest of the career. It's like Jokic. Like Jokic is gonna pass all these dudes that are in front of him. Like he just has to
Yeah.
play. Like even if he
Yeah.
never won a trip again.
Well, yeah. And we'll talk about him in a sec.
Yeah.
Any other guys that become certified Hall of Famers outside of Tatum and Brown
I mean,
on
Drew
the
and
C's?
Horford become combos still, but yeah, the thing is they're not going to be big enough contributors, barring an out of body like NBA Finals or something, to get a
Yeah.
ton of credit for this. Is my thing. I don't know if they're going to get enough credit to have another ring push them over the top.
Derek White? No, probably not. Because
He
no
just
All
wasn't as
Stars.
good at he just wasn't as good as peak as both Drew and
Yeah.
Horford, right?
I
As
feel
good
like
as
I'm
I think
trying.
he is, as good as
Yeah.
I think he
Yeah.
is, to be fair. Like if he
I
was
feel
on
like
his own team,
trying to compare to Michael Cooper, who just got it, who was I don't think he was like 8-time all defense,
how
five
many
chips
rings
though,
though? Yeah,
five
five.
rings
Oh yeah, I
versus
thought he
like
had
two for
four.
Horford. Yeah,
Exactly.
two for
And
Horford.
the middling, like as good as Horford's peak was, given it was a lot better than a lot of these other guys, like
Yeah,
his peak still wasn't that good. It wasn't.
yeah,
It still wasn't like yeah. And he's not. It
five.
doesn't. It's yeah. It's and it's not an Andre Iguodala peak. It's better than that. But
Yeah,
like Iguodala has the final MVP.
right.
So that's kind of my thing. As
Yeah,
I will say, you get into funny conversations where you look down the line, and I can start picturing a Derek White Hall of Fame candidacy. I can start picturing a Porzingis candidacy. Um, but they would like their careers would continue to need to continue playing out.
yeah. Whew. A lot on
Luke
the
Cornett
line.
Hall of Fame candidates? No,
Yeah, Peyton Pritchard. Damn. Um, I mean, we'd be lit up here for sure. You'd have to come up. That's another thing it means for each contender. If Boston wins, you got to come up to Boston.
that would be unreal. That would be unbelievably fun.
Yeah.
I'm down. Anyways, let's move to OKC. You got any more thoughts on Boston?
No, that feels good. OKC.
SGA probably vaults pretty highly because honestly, if he like MVP or not, this is two straight years of being a top 2 to 3 player. I can't remember where he finished MVP voting 3 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But like at that point, we're starting to look at it very high on peak because SGA,
Yeah.
like the Thunder, I think they get a lot of credit for being very deep and whatnot. SGA is gonna have to average like 30 a game for them to win a chip, right? And should they win a chip and he wins Finals MVP, like this his peak is already undeniable because he's gonna finish second or first in MVP voting this year, right? Like
Yeah.
objectively.
Right.
Um, but winning that peak vault again, like we're talking about T Mac, even if SGA retired the next day, it would be hard for me to put T Mac over him, even though T Mac had a longer career. Like that SGA peak has an NBA Finals MVP, has a second or first in MVP, has a top 3 MVP from last year, you know? So it's like, even though he wouldn't have the body of work that someone like T Mac have, I would have to put him up there, I think.
Yo, can I take it one step further?
Yeah.
The last time a player won MVP and Finals MVP in the same year, do you know when that was? Just off
Steph
the top of your head?
2014, 15.
No, he didn't win the Finals MVP.
Oh, Iguodala won it. Was it
It was
LeBron in
it was
12,
LeBron with the
13?
Heat.
Wow.
So Shea right now he's minus 400 according to FanDuel to win. So let's assume he wins this and he wins Finals MVP. Like that, like that's Bill Walton territory if his career stopped right here.
That's honestly a great comparison. That's honestly a really good comparison.
You got three first team All
Mm,
NBAs. You got your MVP and Finals MVP in the same year. That's a punch, dude. That doesn't happen very often. That hasn't happened in 12 years.
well, you're instantly better than like someone like Steve Nash, probably. Like probably.
Yeah, you
And then
felt.
you're probably like yeah, you're like you're honestly, yeah, you're like the thing is Walton and Barry had like the body of work, so I'd still put him behind that, but
Right.
that's like
Yeah.
the combo. Like a tier, he'd be like a tier under. Like Iverson or SGA at that point. I'd
Yeah.
probably take
Yeah.
SGA.
Yeah. Scoring
Damn,
scoring champ this year too.
dude, that's pretty electric. I like that. Rest of the
Yeah.
guys, too early. Too early to say anything for the rest of the guys unless you want to put
Yeah.
Caruso in your Hall of Fame.
Well, Sam Presti finally gets his like round of applause
Yeah.
after doing all this stuff, and they have a whole runway to go.
Um,
Um,
and Presti is already a Hall of Famer, frankly, probably.
yeah,
So
he finally gets his ring as an OKC guy, and this is like one of the toughest rings. You got to beat out teams in the West. You got to beat either the defending champs or another 60-win team in the East.
that's the thing about the West is like anyone who gets out the West is just getting through a gauntlet. Like if any of these
Yeah,
West teams win, like you are playing just like you automatically have 3 rounds of like a gauntlet. Like no flame to the East, but like the T Wolves
yeah,
are about to be the 8 seed in the
yeah,
West, and
exactly.
like
Right.
you know, so
Yeah,
that's like and like you like the Thunder might have to beat it probably won't roll out this way, but they might have to beat like let's say the T Wolves, then the Lakers, then the Nuggets, and then the Celtics.
yeah.
Like that is a gauntlet,
That's a
an
tough.
absolute gauntlet.
It's tough.
And they're good. Like this is totally doable, by the way.
Well, I mean, we just talked about these two teams, so maybe we can just talk about this game that just happened
Yeah.
real quick. So the Thunder went into Boston last night, and I didn't get the chance to watch a lot of it. One of my buddies actually went. I listened to it on the radio while I was driving home, but they really controlled the flow of the game from start to finish. As per usual, they didn't rely on 3-point shooting. The Celtics were 3-point happy, and it kind of helped them stay in it. And then I think they shot like 4 for 25 in the second half. But the Thunder were just doing it with their double big man lineup. They didn't have J-Dub. We didn't have Porzingis, so I feel like that kind of cancels it out. They're both top, 40 guys in the
They
NBA.
didn't have Caruso either, I think, but like
They
whatever.
didn't have
Like
Caruso,
close
right? Yeah.
close enough though.
And they just looked really good. And every single time the Celtics, it felt like they had an answer. Shea just had a play to put them back over the top, and they just have this bevy of guys, and they don't stop coming. And I know that playoff rotations shorten in the postseason, but if somebody gets hurt, knock on wood, you have somebody else to come in. I mean, they look really scary. They don't look afraid. And I mean, who knows? It's just so tough between the Celtics. But they beat the Celtics twice this year. The Thunder are 2-0 against the Seas.
Yeah. I mean, I think also one of the big difference makers is like the free throw shooting. Like if Thunder just get to the rack, like
Yeah.
all their guys can get to the rack, get fouled. Which I think
Well,
is like it's like the opposite, and like you guys can do that too, obviously, but it's like the opposite side of your 3-point spamming. Like
exactly.
they are able to create a lot of open threes because they spam the paint, and you guys are able to create a lot of paint opportunities because you spam three. It's kind of just
Right.
the other side.
Right.
And like I don't know, I think the Thunder are really good. This game kind of showed it too, right? Like and I know iHeart played 25 minutes, but he's not. They didn't go. They've been doing a lot of double big, but it's not like they trotted out iHeart for the whole game. Like Chet was a primary big in this game, and he held his own. So
Mhm.
I
They
watched the
played.
highlights, by the way. I didn't. I watched like
Yeah.
the game replay that the Bleacher
Sure.
Report or whatever posts on their YouTube channel. Like so,
Well, they did.
um,
I mean, they did. They went Nuggets, Celtics, and they went 2 for 3. It's pretty impressive.
very impressive, honestly.
It's very impressive.
Lou Dort, by the way, is great.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
he is like he's like I there's some games I watch him like he's great, and there's other games I watch I think he's a little overrated, but like overall, like just what a steady presence. Like if that's like he's like a case he's like KCP, honestly.
so random, but I have for some reason I have my like first Lou Dort memory is him in the bubble with the Thunder
Oh
playing
yeah.
against the Rockets in the first round, and they end up winning because James he tries to throw the ball off of James Harden in Game 7, and James Harden jumps up in the air and he throws it between his
And,
legs.
yeah, and
But
dodges
but
it.
that
Yeah.
but that was where he found a shot, and he was like, "Is this going to be the new Thabo Cephalosha?" But then he started hitting threes, and I think against the Nuggets, it was he set a career high for threes. Um, but he shoots the ball pretty well. I mean, the team's just deep.
40% from three this year on like 6 attempts. It's like great 3-and-D production, frankly.
Yeah,
Especially
man.
because he's so good defensively.
Yeah, so good.
Doesn't get hurt
Um,
also. Like
yeah,
I don't know,
that whole team.
big fan, unfortunately.
Yeah,
So yeah. Anyways, Lou Dort's not going in the Hall of Fame. Let's
no,
move on to the next team.
yes, sir.
Um,
Who's next?
Lakers.
You want to do late? Can we do Cavs first?
Let's do Cavs. Let's do
Because
Cavs
I feel
first.
like Cavs are more they're better.
Donnie Mitchell becomes a really interesting one.
Yeah,
I think the Finals MVP matters a little bit, but not that much. I think in general, a lot of these guys have the rest of their careers to play, you know.
yeah.
But if Donnie Mitchell wins Finals MVP, 60 wins in a Finals MVP, yeah, he vaults really highly too. Like then we're talking about him in conversations with like guys like Drexler, you know.
Yeah.
Because
Top
he doesn't
10.
have the body of work just yet, but like he would have been the best player on a finals team, winning MVP, won 60 games. Like, even though I never really consider him to be a top five player at any point in his career, like
Ever.
that's kind of an undeniable accolade. And you'd have to put him near the top 50.
You would have to. I'm looking up. Um, so he is a six-time All-Star. He's gonna be first team All NBA this year, and he was All NBA second team. So he's two-time All NBA. Yeah, the body of work's not quite there.
Yeah, the thing is that I fear that it would get remembered like what Billups's Finals MVP in 2004.
Oh,
That's my fear. I think he's a little better, right? Like, and he's got his high end playoff performances are like 50
yeah,
pointers, right? So it's
yeah.
like, but that's my fear with him is that if he ends up with three All Stars, do we remember him closer to Billups or do we remember him closer to, you know, I don't know, what's a good example here? Walt Frazier.
Phillips is solid. Walt Frazier.
Like
Um,
one chip probably doesn't make him reach Walt Frazier, despite Walt Frazier never having a Finals MVP.
is he the best shooting guard of this era?
Harden still. I mean, the post Harden.
Do they have? Yeah, I guess post Harden. I mean, he's definitely not as good as Harden
Yeah,
because Harden was like, you could say he was top two in the NBA and not be lying at one point.
yeah,
And you can't
yeah.
say
I
that
think
about Don
probably.
Mitchell. Yeah,
But I think like outside of Harden, probably
I
he
think that's a
probably
solid.
becomes the best. He becomes like since 2010, probably becomes the best. Like he probably passes in like since 2010, probably passes Klay Thompson at that point
Oh,
if he gets a Finals MVP.
yeah. If he gets Finals MVP with a 60-something win team.
Yeah, I think it's undeniable. So he probably is the second
Yeah,
best shooting guard since 2010 at that point. But yeah,
there.
the body work just isn't quite there.
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
really. They got 55 wins, 10 losses.
pretty amazing.
What a weird, what a crazy turnaround, too, from last year, where they were going to a game seven against the Magic
Yeah,
in the first round.
I really hope it's not a Hawks 61, but like
Right.
it is fully possible if they lose in the Eastern Conference Finals, we just forget about them like that.
Yeah.
I hope not. I hope not because
Yeah.
I really like all those players, but it's
Yeah.
possible.
Um, yeah. I mean, this could be like a mid 2000s Detroit Pistons. I like that comp, honestly. Got two like big men in the Wallaces, and then you got
Billups
your
is Garland, and then
guards.
you got like Rip Hamilton's Mitchell.
Yeah.
Obviously, some
Yeah. Yeah.
responsibilities, a little different
Uh-huh.
balance of responsibilities there for the Cavs. But
Much like the other small forwards, Tayshaun Prince gets lost in the shuffle somewhere to history.
yeah, and
Um,
like yeah, just like DeAndre Hunter will if they win a chip.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Next truth. All right, yeah, cool.
Lakers. I
Yeah.
let me I'll leave this out. I think LeBron's probably the GOAT. Um, LeBron's probably my GOAT if he wins the chip. And then if he wins Finals MVP, I think he's probably definitely the GOAT. If he doesn't win Finals MVP, I don't know. But yeah, anyways, that's kind of if he wins Finals MVP, like he's my GOAT, probably, unfortunately. Um, but if Luca wins, that then we're having I think LeBron is like a little bit like a here and there argument. Like I don't know, like I personally I think if he wins the Finals MVP, he should be the GOAT. Like I know he's just one chip off of Jordan at that point with probably a bigger body of
Hmm.
work.
Hmm.
Um, and I know Jordan did the double three peats, but like I don't know. But if LeBron wins it and doesn't have Finals MVP, then we probably get into a discussion of like the performances and whatnot. But I think Luca's the interesting one. I don't know about you.
So just thinking about it, because I feel like this is something I was curious about. With the Rockets playing so well and LeBron getting hurt in his groin, and I don't know what the latest updates are with his groin, but rest is rest is rest. And if they secure themselves into like a 4 or 5 spot, then you get like the Rockets in the first round, assuming that the Warriors and the Timberwolves can't make that jump. You don't have to play the Warriors. You don't have to play the Timberwolves in the first round. So you avoid that. Then you get the Thunder, who again are really good, but this happened last year where the Thunder did win 57 games. They were the number one seed, and then the Mavs came in, and Luca is not afraid of the Thunder.
They're totally beatable. I mean,
Yeah.
offensively, the Thunder are just not there yet,
Yeah.
frankly, from what we've seen in the playoffs.
Right. And then you have either the Nuggets or I mean if the Grizzlies make some magical run or the Warriors or whoever waiting for you in the conference finals, and if they're beat up enough. And we just saw that what the Lakers did to the Nuggets a few weeks ago. So I think this is very feasible. LeBron just had a month where he averaged 29, 10, and 7. And if he puts up if he puts up a finals run of 25, 8, and 8, and they give it to him, oh man, that's tough.
He's probably my
Be-
GOAT, bro. He's probably my GOAT. I know it's 20 years of work. Like at
Yeah,
that point, like
as a
he's gonna have
40-year-old.
it's only one less ring than Jordan, and he's gonna have
Hmm.
everything else pretty much. Like except
Yeah,
for I know Depoy, but like
I know, but whatever. Um, as for Luca,
I think that's the interesting one. I think because I think LeBron you would need to see it to really digest like
yeah,
that. Luca probably has one of the best first 7 years of an NBA career ever.
yeah. I'm a little surprised he wasn't on your tier list.
You thought he should have been in the top 51?
Honestly, yeah, finals appearance and five first team All NBAs, more than Steph.
I guess, but like if you think about like Unseld who's 50, like MVP rookie of the year, finals MVP, five-time All-Star, like
Yeah,
and a
that's
bigger
true.
body of work, like
But
I don't
George
know. I
Gervin,
think he's there though. I think he's there. I still have those guys ahead of him, but it's like just a matter of time. Like Luca could never win a chip and just play the rest of his career. And since his peak was so high, he'll pass those guys eventually.
I
But it's
think a
like if he
toss
retired right, if he retired right now.
with a ring and a finals MVP right now.
Oh, if he retired with a ring of Finals MVP,
Well, what do you think?
oh, he's like
Top
Bill
30?
Walton. He's like
Top
yeah,
20?
he's like
I think
because he
he's
literally just had the first one of the first seven best seasons to start a career ever. He's not like it's not like a Duncan start to the career, but it's pretty damn
yeah,
close.
yeah. At least accolade wise,
Yeah.
like individual accolade wise.
And then we'd have to see how it would progress, obviously, but like he's then on
Right.
track to be like an all-timer. Like I
Yeah.
almost think that's like the bigger deal is that he would then be like, oh, you
Yeah.
truly do have a chance to be a top
Yeah.
25 player, top 20 player.
I mean, I think he's top 30 with the finals MVP.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he passes
Um,
like Chris Paul instantly.
yeah.
Passes the finals MVP. Yeah, passes like Mike and guys like
Yeah.
that, right? In this
Does he
era,
pass
passes
Harden?
probably David Robinson passes him. What?
Ooh. He passes Harden.
Oh yeah. Yeah, past
Um,
David. I don't know if I put him ahead of Rick Barry just yet, but probably.
Mm,
Probably.
probably.
Like he
Um,
becomes Pippen combos. Pippen Wade.
okay. Does LeBron become a Laker great?
Oh, two ring. If he wins the Finals MVP, thing is, there's too many Laker greats. He's not even
I
on the
know.
Mount Rushmore, is he?
No, he's not. No, he's not.
That's
No
it's
way.
like not even his fault, but it's like you're not better than in a Lakers jersey. We're better than Shaq, Kobe, Magic, or Kareem.
No.
So,
People, I mean, yeah. Wilt,
well,
Jerry,
Jerry.
Elgin Baylor didn't even win a ring. People probably have him above LeBron,
I
even
think
though
if
LeBron's at six.
LeBron wins the Finals
Yeah,
MVP
the
though,
two. He wins two. Yeah, damn.
that'd be crazy.
That would be. All right.
That's all I got on the Lakers. JJ Redick also would get so much
Yeah.
credit. Like rookie of the year, rookie head coach championship would be nuts. By the way, don't think this is gonna happen. Like, I don't know. Don't
Oh,
think,
Lakers.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just because of how well they were playing.
Yeah. Just we had to address it.
Yeah.
Um, Denver, which I think has way better of a chance of happening.
Okay.
Jokic,
Um, okay.
top
Let me say.
12,
Yeah, I say he goes with that Hakeem guarding the top 10 category.
maybe passes Hakeem. Just because the peak, I think the peak is better. Because if he has two rings, two finals MVPs,
Three MVPs. Um, and this hard of a gauntlet.
and like probably unanimously the best player in the NBA for like 4 years running.
That's a good point. And Hakeem never had that for like never had that. Yeah.
Even those 2 years, like he wasn't like I mean, he was probably
Yeah.
the best player in the NBA during those 2 years. But like,
Yeah.
you know,
He's yeah. Damn. Damn. Yeah. He's knocking on the top 10.
and then it's like, then it's just then the issue is once you get into that tier 12, I mean, we'll get to this if it happens, but once you get
Yeah.
into that tier, that Hakeem tier, like it does take a lot to get out. It's gonna take another like when Steph was stuck there, like it was gonna take a full ring to get out of there,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
ring
Yeah.
plus
Yeah.
finals MVP. So like
Yeah. You need
we'll
another.
we'll we'll address that when he gets there because that's the one
Yeah.
thing that like he could have. Yeah. Anyways, he could have
Yeah.
four MVPs, like win it this year, win another year, and then also get like finals MVP once, and like two rings and four MVPs still doesn't put you next to Kobe yet, in my
That's
opinion.
Will.
Yeah, it is Will, but Will also we'll get some video
That's
game numbers
yeah.
bonus boosts
Yeah. Yeah. True. Well, but I mean, it's outside of LeBron, he's the highest.
easily.
And well, of people we've said so far.
Yeah, of people we've said
Uh,
so far, and of people that we have on our list of like true contenders.
and he's
Like,
probably the third now greatest all time player. Like I mean, he goes above KD.
oh, active, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Active, yeah, active.
All time active, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I agree. He does pass. He pretty much instantly passed. Like a chip in a because he would win Finals MVP if they won a chip. Like I'm not even worried about the other situations there. That Jamal Murray's probably not winning
yeah,
a Finals MVP.
yeah,
Like he would just instantly pass KD.
yeah.
Like just and again, I think I'd probably have him pass Hakeem. Like he would be in the same tier, and it would probably take a lot for him to get to the Kobe, Shaq, Wilt. But
Uh,
like
man, that's tough.
that's kind of crazy, honestly.
That is crazy. Um, yeah, Nuggets
And
win two rings in 3 years. Very impressive. Michael Malone's a Hall of Famer. I mean, probably already is. I don't know if Jamal Murray's a Hall of Famer. He doesn't have an All Star appearance.
yeah.
Um,
But it's one of those that whoever of the supporting cast can piece together a long career even after this could sneak
yeah,
into the Hall of Fame. Like
they
if Aaron
could.
Gordon can piece together like another run with either with this team or the next team after winning a chip,
Yeah,
could sneak in.
one of those. Yeah,
It would take a lot, but
it would take a lot.
like
Um,
let's say Aaron Gordon wins a chip this year with the Nuggets, plays another few years, goes to the Spurs, starting power forward next to Wemby on a chip team.
mm,
Like now we're having different combos. Like now you could talk yourself into Bob Dandridge combo of
yeah,
like this guy was just second or third option on like three or four
A
different
bunch of
championship teams, was
teams.
pretty goated at it. Like
No all-stars, but I feel like Jamal Murray is more likely to
take that
do
path.
that.
I
Yeah,
agree.
just because he
Just
has
age
50
wise too.
age-wise, 50-point games
Yeah.
in the
A little bit more
playoffs.
burst pop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sizzle.
Crisp.
Um, yeah, crispy.
All right, we're gonna do Golden State actually. I was
All right,
hesitant on we're
all right,
gonna
all
do
right.
this,
Let's
but
do Golden State, and then can we be done
yeah, yeah.
after?
We'll do
No,
Golden State super
after
quick.
let's do. We can do Golden State, but sorry, Rockets and Grizzlies and even Knicks fans. Oh, Knicks better not win.
We'll get to that. We'll get if it comes up, we'll get to that. We'll
We'll
get
get
to
to
that.
it. All right, all right.
Yeah, because the thing
Warriors.
is,
Yeah,
it's like Şengün's not going to the top 100. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
maybe it does.
if you win a Finals MVP and you're that good, well, whatever.
That's the thing.
Warriors.
Yeah, yeah. And anyone's going in there. Steph probably solidifies himself within this tier if he wins Finals MVP. I mean, that's 5 chips.
5 chips, 2 Finals MVPs. I mean, that's Kobe.
Yeah, with I would argue better body of work, more MVPs. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Doesn't have the defense, but
that is
yes, I mean,
true. But
has the
like,
shooting.
I think there's like at least for me, like I personally think there's like a carry, like because I think he was more of a factor on all 5 of these finals teams than Kobe was a factor on all 5 of these finals teams. As and like we're picking heroes there, but like that's what we have to do in these tiers. But like
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. But I think it would be so. I mean, I already personally have him above Kobe.
Yeah.
But like I think it would solidify himself in that tier. But like I think maybe it would pass Duncan, but it would still be hard for me to put him above like Bird.
Maybe
Like
Bird. Maybe him and Bird are right there.
yeah,
I
then
can see
those
that.
become the combos.
Depends
But
how he does
like
it,
yeah, I mean,
too.
to be honest, if they win a chip, I don't think Jimmy Butler's winning the Finals MVP probably. But
But he
if
could. He
he
could.
could, and if he did, he would vault. He
He
is
would
someone that would
vault.
vault. Like any honestly,
3 finals appearances.
3 Finals MVP appearances in a ring, he'd vault. Even if they just win a chip, he's probably becomes Dominique-esque, my
Yeah,
opinion.
it's a good comp.
Um,
Clyde Drexler.
yeah, Drexler, good point. Like that kind of realm, unselled.
Yeah,
Even without the Finals MVP, like he would probably be better
yeah,
than unselled for me. He'd
yeah,
probably, frankly, might be better than guys like Harden. Without
yeah.
even without the Finals MVP. Um,
And we'll remember how the Warriors went from, oh my gosh, this is the end of Steph's career to holy
Back
cow.
at the mountaintop.
Exactly.
Yeah, it would be a good
Like,
story.
yeah,
Draymond is fun because,
yeah,
like, depending on how you feel about him, like,
yeah,
you could give him, like, I mean, he's already a Hall of Famer, right? But, like, now
yeah.
we can start placing him in some of these lists if you, like, feel super strongly about him. Like, if you're going to compare, like, AD and Draymond Green's careers,
Mm-hmm.
I know AD was the better player at his peak, but, like,
James Worthy,
yeah, exactly. Like, guys like that. So, I don't know.
Tony
Or even like
Parker.
Reggie Miller. Like, was that? I think that's a good example of a guy. Like, you'd probably rather be I would probably put Draymond Green above Reggie Miller, despite Reggie Miller clearly having a better peak.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
But
Yeah, right. Yeah,
being a key contributor to 5 chips
and a depoy, 2 depoys,
and a deep one depoy, he
one
lost.
depoy.
He was like second in 2 depoys to
Oh, to
Kawhi.
Kawhi. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
like top 10 MVP voting ones. Like he was
three or
eighth,
four
I
All
think.
Stars. Damn.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
like he's like he becomes like a pretty interesting case.
yeah, he does. I
So
mean, it depends how well he plays too. Like if he has like a Horford type of run, not that just because I think this is a compliment to Horford, by the way.
mhm.
Because how good Horford is aged. If it's like that, where he's like really crisp and smooth with the offense, obviously the third best player. That's what we need to see. It can't be a Gary Payton ring. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, he'll probably be better if they win a chip. He would probably need to be better than a Horford type,
Yes. Oh
like
yeah.
for
Oh
them to
yeah.
win a chip.
Oh
You know,
exactly.
that's another part I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
So
Right. Good point.
I don't know.
Um. All right.
That's all I got though. This is good. Well, and then
Yeah.
Rockets fans, Grizzlies fans, when your team makes the second round, we'll address it.
Yes, sir.
I'm using
And
when really kindly.
Grizzlies fans, when you make it again, we know that you already made it a few years ago, but you got to make it again.
Yeah, yeah. The Jaws got us put up 30 points. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's got to put up 24 game.
Um, quick recent news.
Yeah,
Got some quick hitters before we get to our quiz. Um,
let's go.
De'Aaron Fox out for the season with a torn pinky. This comes after Wemby obviously being ruled out for the season.
Yeah, brutal.
If you're the Spurs, I know it's brutal. You're not gonna make the playoffs, but if you're the
Yeah,
Spurs, is this kind of lit?
yeah. Go
You
get a
kind
good
of
college guy.
go get yourself a VJ Edgecombe. If you get lucky in the draft, you get a Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey.
Yeah.
They have Atlanta's pick too, unprotected.
Is it unprotected?
I think so.
Mm,
So
that's
they
really
they got
scary.
some fun stuff. They got some
Yeah,
fun stuff. San Antonio does.
yeah. I'm just putting it out there. I'm excited. Soon on a pod, we're gonna have a segment where Max explains every single type of like trade
Yeah,
and like pick and what it means because sometimes this stuff is so CBA'd up that it's even tougher for me to follow. But Max is a guru, so we'll talk more
we'll do
about
the
like
glossary or
the
the
whole yeah
source
yeah
dictionary.
yeah glossary. That's perfect.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's nice.
right
You're
at the end
welcome.
of the book. Yeah.
Right at the
Um.
end. Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Fox though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
don't know
for
if you've seen
sure.
a lot of his quotes. Like clearly the Sacramento situation did not seem super fun. So
Yeah. He wanted to be with why am I forgetting the coach's name?
Mike Brown,
Mike Brown. Thank you. I'm so Malone. Um. I saw that. Yeah. Too bad. Hate to see it.
they didn't
Um.
even he didn't even ask for a trade after they fired him too. Apparently it was like before the season it was like if you don't bring back Mike Brown, like
Yeah. I'm done.
I'm done. And then they fired Mike Brown and then just traded him without him requesting for a
It's
trade.
crazy work. Um.
Kind of funny.
Yeah.
TBH. Classic Sacramento. I would hate to like if I was a
For
Dallas
real.
fan or a Sacramento fan, like it's way better to be a Wizards fan than any of those teams, frankly. At least I get to
Yeah.
root for
I
some
mean.
young players, even they end up being bad. Like,
Yeah. I guess it's who's the least wet in a pile of mud.
yeah, crazy. Chat. So now we know what Anthony does in his free time. Next, I did want to talk about the Blazers really quick.
Sure.
Okay, they're like here. So hear me out. They're no one's talking about the Blazers, nor should they.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, the national media doesn't pay attention to them, but like, um, they're kind of fun. I mean, they've lost five straight, so it's bad time for me to talk about them. But they're like 3 games back of the Suns, for example, who have KD, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. I think I took their over in their preseason. This is a team that like they just have like 7 to 8 NBA players who are good, and like Scoot isn't like that good, but he's good. You know, like he can physically play basketball, and like I know that sounds like a low bar, but I think my greater point is that like it's kind of showing you that depth is really valuable in today's NBA, especially with these cap rules, where like if you have Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, KD, it's gonna be really hard to surround them with any sort of role playing talent. And so like the Blazers, who don't have any stars on that caliber, just have a bunch of role guys, and they're able to beat down on the worst teams. Tumani Kamara is their Tumani Kamara is their leading minutes played guy, which is hilarious to me. Um, yeah, and they've had injuries here and there, and they've survived them. And I think it's been fun to watch, frankly. I mean, Simons is another season of basically being a 20 point per game guy. Like I don't know. They're not that good, but they're kind of frisky. And if anyone here can take like any sort of leap, and they're slowly developing. But if someone can take a true leap here at some point, they could be pretty good. And they're young.
Yeah, yeah. To your point, didn't really. I know. I knew that you were high on the Advia move, or I feel like at least you were. Like when they go trade, like he would do pretty well, and he's been all right. Like
I mean,
15,
he's
7,
objectively
and
pretty
4.
good.
Yeah,
Like I thought they gave up a little steep value, but it was like a lot of first. It was like first, like they already had too many players. Like their thing wasn't depth. They needed kind of quality depth. So it's like just let's take two first and make it Denny. Like that works.
trying to think of a comp of like this, what this team was like from like another year. For some reason, the Pistons of last year popping into my head, but I feel like they don't have a Cade guy.
maybe like the Vucevic magic, if like when Vucevic wasn't when all like before Vucevic was like a
Sure.
true all-star for like that year or two span, like
Like Aaron
when they're like a
Gordon.
little frisky, it's like young Aaron
Yeah.
Gordon. It's like
Yeah.
they're still playing Terrence Ross a lot, and you're like, who like what? Like,
DJ Augustine.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like it
Yeah.
like they just got a lot of players, like
Yeah.
and I don't know how good any of these guys are.
Right.
But yeah.
Nah, man. Yeah. I mean, they're fun. I mean, their losses have been kind of brutal to they're beating bad teams and they're losing to good teams and close. And there was that, I mean, that Knicks game last night, if you saw, Mikal Bridges won on a
Yeah.
walk-off three-pointer. That was nutty.
Great shot, by the way. Did you see his
But
celebration after he did the three?
yeah, he did the three.
That's
Yeah.
But yeah,
The
anyways, that was just what I want to say about the Blazers. I think it's kind of funny. It kind of goes to show that like in today's NBA, with the way the salary and stuff goes, like HBOing your team, like the Suns owner, um,
yeah. Just
it could just
destroying
lead
it.
to, it could just lead to you being like as good as the Blazers. You know,
Dude, yeah.
who just traded
Um,
Dame Lillard 2 years ago. So, anyways,
um, okay, I got one. I just
mhm.
brought them up, but Pistons. I've been apologizing to them since they were either 8 or 9 or no, 7 and 8. So since game 15, I've apologized to them and I will continue to do so. I mean,
Awesome.
7 and 3 in their
They're
last.
awesome.
They're so good.
Duran
And
looks great.
and and and, and now, I mean, I was worried for the Knicks and if they'd have to face them in the first round. They're all it's the Bucks, the Pacers, and the Pistons are all right there. They all got the same record. Jaden Ivey is looking to come back, which would be absolutely nuts if he was able to come back. He says he's still day by day, so it might not happen, but it's not like they don't need him, but they could definitely be a if they make that 4 or 5 slot, they could definitely be a second round team. And I
Which
know
would
that
be
Pacers and Pistons,
unbelievable.
it would be great, dude. And Pacers and Pistons fans have been going at each other this year. That'd be a fun first round.
Oh, they're gonna fight. Isaiah Stewart's getting multiple
Yeah.
T's,
Oh yeah.
like for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean that's a tough team for anybody. If you're Cleveland, you don't want to see them in the 4 or 5 slot.
No, I
Not
mean they play
necessarily.
great defense. They
Yeah.
they know how to space the floor around Cade really well, and Cade just creates a lot of offense. They know how to create offense just well enough when he's off the court, and they're active. Like they play like they're active between Asar, Duran, and even their older guys. Like when they play like your 15 minutes around Holland, you're like whatever 10 minutes of Fontecchio here and there. Like those guys are active and they're all NBA players. It's like if the Blazers had Ken Cunningham, honestly, and some better quality depth, frankly. Like I think I'm
Yeah.
pretty high on the Pistons depth at this point,
Yeah, man.
the way they're
Yeah.
playing.
Beasley, Harris, Duran, Hardaway. Schroeder's been great. Um,
Pretty awesome
Thompson.
pitch. I
Yeah.
I love it. Um, with that, I don't have much else. I think we kind of talked about everyone I want to
Yeah.
talk about. A small shout out to like the Rockets and T-Wolves are also playing well lately.
Yeah. Golden
Um,
Days. Still beating
uh,
the Timberwolves still beating the Nuggets.
as per usual. As per
Yep.
usual. Grizzlies too, by the way, deserve a shout out. Winners of 4 straight to bring them
Yeah.
back into the second seed. Um, yeah, I mean it's possible. Yeah, we're gonna get this West basically is just gonna have some awesome matchups.
Yeah.
Like, and honestly, like I know we poo-pooed the Rockets and the Grizzlies. They can totally win a first round series. Honestly, like
Yeah.
I
They
think
they
the
can.
Grizzlies also could win a second round series.
They can win a second round series, the Grizzlies.
I think they could. I don't know if they. I'm
Ooh,
not predicting them to, but I think it would not be off the
that'd be
cards for them
nutty.
to knock out a Lakers or a Warriors
Damn. That'd be wild. Um, I
because they
guess
got
we'll
a lot
see.
of talent. They're deep. So,
They are
anyways,
very deep.
to wrap up the pod, Tony, I got a quiz for you.
Oh boy. All right. All right.
I'm going to give you some options just in terms of the depth of this list. So we've done
Okay.
a quiz before the top 10 scorers of the 80s once upon a time.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. Okay.
I'm going to do the 90s, the top 10 scorers of the 90s. Um, I do have there. I wanted to extend the list to 13 because there's a guy that I know you're not going to get at 13,
Okay.
but I
All
might
right.
just leave it at 10 and then give you the guy who's 13th later. So
All right, all right. Can I have like extra credit if I get 11, 12, and for magically 13?
yeah, how about that? I'll give you like 11 and 12 for extra credit. Well, I'll give you a miss for 11 and 12. Like you'll get a miss back.
All right,
Yeah.
so
We're talking total volume of points. So yeah, summary, total volume of points, total points scored. Um, Let me give the exact definition between the 1989-90 season and the 1998-99 seasons. So this is not inclusive of 99-2000.
okay.
Um,
Um,
and so we're doing the top, you're trying to guess the top 10. If you get a miss and like that counts, but then eventually if you get 11 and 12, we'll give you your misses back. So
okay.
you'll have the opportunity to refund two of your misses so you get 11 and 12.
Okay, okay. Um, Whew, this is a good one. So the way that I'm looking at this is you had to have either been drafted in like you can't have been drafted earlier than the early 80s for me because your playing career is probably done. And you can't have been drafted after like 94, 95 because I know that guys like Iverson, Kobe, even Grant Hill was awesome, but there's just not enough time. Um, and you can't have a guy like again, like a Larry Bird who was done for that. So let me just like mentally kind of go through. Okay. 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 All right. All right. Um, this feels like a no duh one. Let's wait. Can you tell me like where they rank?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Karl Malone. Is he number
Malone
one?
is number one.
Okay. That makes sense. He was just a consistent scorer. That totally makes sense. Where's MJ at here?
MJ is number two.
Okay. We're done with the first two. Um, okay. So we need scoring championships here. We need consistent offensive production, and we need to avoid injuries. Um, Man, this is going to be tough for you, boy. But who was putting up David Robinson? I feel like is on here.
Yes, he's fourth.
Okay, let's go. Thank you, Mr. Admiral. Okay, we got Robinson, MJ Malone, Shaq. I feel like.
Oh, this is your first miss.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible for me.
Shaq is 19.
Oh, that was awful. Okay, I got to log back in. Okay, so the way that makes me think is Shaq put up 23 points per game in his rookie year, and I don't think he had any serious injuries to my knowledge throughout the 90s. So if he was 92, 93, these are all guys who were drafted before then. So that's what I'm working with here. Oh, I hate this already, man. Um, Hakeem Olajuwon.
Sixth.
Okay, phew. I was like, I can't sell twice in a row. Okay,
No.
Hakeem. All right, so we're looking. There's still two guys above them.
One of the guys above, like the one of the guys above number six that you don't have yet is going to be one of the tougher ones.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, because there's probably a few guys who like average 20 for the whole decade or something. Um, I'm just gonna throw it a guess in Gary Payton. Damn, I'm
He's
selling
down
hard.
there low key. He's
Oh,
22.
22. That's awful. Wow. Um,
I will
now I'm
say
like,
the points margin between 11 and like Shaq, who is 19, is like 400 points. So like there's like really a clump up outside of the top 10. Like the
okay.
margin between 11 and 10 is 2,000 points.
Even still, I should Ewing. Ewing's got to be on here.
Yeah, Ewing is third.
Okay, good. Sad that it took me so long to get Ewing, but can be done with him. Um, let's go with now I feel so chalked. Charles Barkley.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
All right,
Nine.
cool. Ninth. Okay. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Okay, I love
You
that.
got the right mold of players now.
What's up?
You got the right mold of players.
Multiplayer. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Um, I know Alonzo Mourning's not on here. Um, I don't know. Dominique Wilkins didn't play long enough into the 90s. Um, no, no Robert Parrish, like MVPs. I don't think Drexler's on here, but he might be on here. Um, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about a guy like was like a Sean Elliott on here. That'd be crazy though. Or a Sean, not no way a Sean Kemp. Probably not a Mark Price. Oh, you're smiling at something I just said.
No,
Shit.
I'm smiling at the Sean Elliott comment.
Because he was a two-time All-Star.
He's not.
No,
He's
I know,
not.
I know. He wasn't long enough. No. Um, okay. I just need to go through teams real quick. In the 90s is so tough because Clyde was drafted in 83. Okay, but Lakers, nobody. Lakers. The Clippers, I don't think. I think Randy Smith was in the 80s. The Kings. Oh, Mitch Richmond. Give me Mitch Richmond.
Yes, that
Yes,
is one of the
sir.
tough ones. That was one of the tough ones.
What is he?
He's fifth.
Okay. Let's friggin'
So
go.
right now you're missing 7, 8, 9, or 7, 8, 10. Um, one of these
Okay,
is
Reggie
a
Miller.
lot.
Reggie Miller. What am
Yeah,
I
Reggie
doing?
Miller seventh. Yeah.
Okay. Dang. Sorry, Spittin Hoops fans, for me taking so long with young Reginald. Um, oh, I just had one and I lost him in my head. Mitch
One
Richmond.
of these guys is really obvious. One of these guys is not obvious.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Mark Aguirre had already retired, or he was too old by then. Joe Dumars, no. I don't think Glenn Rice is on here. Um, I could see Chris Mullen. I'll go with Chris Mullen.
Not
No.
Chris Mullin.
Where's he?
He's 20. He's like a sandwich between Shaq
Sandwich.
and
Okay. So I mean I have my three strikes, but let's see. I don't think Tim Hardaway. Um, I don't think I don't think Jeff Malone. I don't think um I don't think Larry Nance. I don't think Brad Daugherty. Oh man, they're smiling
what
again.
you already said the name of one of the
Did I
players.
say
I'll
is
just give you that.
it wasn't
At some point in the section, you gave the player's name.
was it Larry Nance?
No,
Was it Jeff Malone?
no.
It
All
was
right, you
Brad
want me to give it
Daugherty.
to you?
Brad Daugherty?
You want me to give
No,
it to you?
No, Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway.
No, he's 11th though. He's 11th.
Okay, all right. No, no, wait. If I said it, okay. Wait, who did I say? Who did I say?
Glenn
Is it,
Rice.
oh, it was Glenn Rice, eight or
Yeah,
10th?
eighth.
Eighth. Is the 10th one
10.
the super hard one or the one I should know?
I thought the Glenn Rice one was harder. 10, you should get it. This was the guy who
Oh,
played for the whole 80s, and it was really good.
for the whole 80s.
Or the whole 90s, sorry, it was really good. Like really,
Ah,
really, really good. Like won multiple chips.
what the heck? Oh, Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
I overlooked him. Um,
Um,
damn.
all right,
All
you're
right.
good. That's all right. So we got three misses. You had eight before you got your three misses.
Yeah,
You should,
not
if
bad.
only you had said Hardaway and Drexler 11 and 12 and you went over them like properly, like ignoring them. But
Uh,
if you had said them,
I
you would have got
did.
a miss back. 13th is Hershey Hawkins. That's the
Oh,
one that
I would not have had Hershey
it would have been
Hawkins.
impossible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
Damn. All
funny.
right. Sorry, Spitting Hoops.
Yeah, we're on a little tough streak of quizzes right now.
Yeah.
We need to get back in class. We need to watch some Bill Simmons.
Yeah. That I feel like that Celtics one kind of set me up for can't beat that one.
Yeah, that's true.
Um,
That's true.
but I'm okay
You
with
kind of
that.
killed that one.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Wow, the Scottie Pippen's terrible. Glenn Rice, I'm okay with. That's
So
tough, man. That's a good one. That was a good quiz.
Yeah, we'll have to do the 2000s one next time. All right. Well, now I just told you, so maybe not.
Yeah, yeah. But I'll throw something at you.
Yeah. With that, I think that wraps up everything. We gave you guys some contenders, some situations, some hypotheticals, checked in with some teams, and Anthony had a quiz about the 90s.
Love it.
Pretty good podcast. We got an all-around podcast, especially after
Not
the
bad.
last
Yeah.
podcast. That was very
Yeah.
like pyramid.
It's very targeted. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is good. All right. Well, anything else, Max?
No, that's about it. Go Eagles. If you play us in the first round of the tournament, get
Watch
ready.
out.
Watch out.
Watch
I
out.
might be there.
They come.
I might be there, depending on where it is.
Shout out
Might
if
be
it's
there.
in Dayton. The boys
It's
pulling up to
Dayton.
Dayton.
Yeah, that'd be kind of elite. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, hopefully we'll see y'all soon. Kind of depends. It sounds like Max may or may not be traveling. But y'all sit back, enjoy the last quarter of the season, as will we. Until then, next time, we'll be here as always, chilling, spitting hoops, baby. I'll at you.